For years, Facebook has been trying to crack into the market that Snapchat has rolled with its instant messaging and video app. And it looks like the tech giants might be about to go toe-to-toe for photo sharing domination.
According to Instagram, the photo sharing app owned by Facebook is launching Instagram Stories. And this will let people share images and videos for no more than 24 hours, sharing a very striking resemblance to Snapchat Stories. So to break this down for us from the CNET studios in New York is CNET senior editor Dan Ackerman. Dan, what's up?
Hey guys, what's going on?
All right, so you've taken a look at what Instagram Stories has to offer. I mean, how similar is this to Snapchat?
Yeah, the update just popped up for me while we were setting up for this. They're rolling it out slowly over a couple of weeks to people, but I just got it. And of course, it sounds very similar. You know, Snapchat Stories, Instagram Stories, and frankly, it kind of looks and works the same way too.
So, all right, so clearly they're going after this market. I mean, Snapchat sort of came out of nowhere, and a lot of young people especially, because Rena's always like, why is Snapchat so...
But why is it so much better? I thought it was a point where you just show videos that you don't want your parents to see. I mean, it's come a long way.
Now she is a parent. So explain to us why Snapchat has become so popular and what Instagram is looking to capitalize on here.
Yeah, I think what Snapchat figured out is that people don't always want to post every picture as something that's carefully sort of curated and has been lined up and perfectly lit. And when you put something on Instagram, it's sort of there forever and people comment on it. Snapchat is more for sort of like just quick and dirty things that are going to disappear after a day or after as long as you set it for. It's sort of like just take a picture, go on with your life, don't dwell on it. And that's what Instagram and a lot of other services were missing out on. The fact that we may not want every photo to be permanent. We just want to take a moment in time, observe it for a moment, and then just let it go.
You know, proof that I'm not into the cool things, technology. I mean, I just got onto Instagram.
I had to convince her to get onto Instagram.
I know, there's just so many Facebook things to do these days.
So 2008.
I've got kids grocery shopping to do, my friend. But I want to know why it is. I just joined Instagram, but I know the research is that Instagram numbers are decreasing. Why is that, Dan?
Well, people are very fickle. They move from one service to another. It depends on what's hot at the moment. You know, Twitter obviously started out as the big guy, but then people sort of got scared off by Twitter because it became sort of a hostile environment for some people. You had a lot of harassment on there, and they're really working on that. So it's sort of morphed into being kind of a news feed, almost a professional platform. And Facebook is sort of your everything, you know, social network for photos, party invites, reconnecting with, you know, school friends, things like that. And Snapchat and Instagram were trying to fill in the middle part. We had some content, some text, some photos, not really much more than that, but, you know, sort of building basically stories about them, and that's why everyone is obsessed now with this storifying concept.
But, all right, so this is totally not a diss, but Dan, you'll tell me this as a tech guy. Once, like, parents and grandparents get on one of these social media platforms, isn't that when younger people start to move on and look at other things? I'm not saying that Rena just joined Instagram. That's not...
Stab me in the heart, why don't you? Here you go.
But, right,
now, here's the question.
Like, my you know, yeah, okay, go ahead.
You're comparing...
Is that a cause and effect sort of thing, or is it causation but not necessarily, you know, correlation without causation? Do older people get on a social network and then the kids leave, or do the kids find something cool and leave, and by that time we're only discovering the last gen social network right then?
So what is the answer?
Good question, huh?
Yes.
Well, I want to ask
like Schrodinger's cat.
Where will users go now, Dan? You know, if there's this battle between the two, Facebook and Instagram, where do you see the market share going now?
Well, between Facebook and Instagram, fortunately, it's all kind of in the family because Facebook owns Instagram, but they keep them very much as a separate service. Instagram, I think, has become the place where a lot of brands and celebrities and people who kind of have a public profile post something, you know, big and put some text with it, and everybody comments on it and likes it. But it's not like Twitter where you get that back and forth. You get a lot of nasty replies. You have retweets. You have quoted tweets. It's a little bit of a safer environment. Whereas, you know, Facebook is still more to that friend-to-friend communication. You really have to, you know, send someone a friend request, have them accept the request. You have kind of that few-to-few, what I call it, communication, where Twitter and Instagram is that few-to-many communication.
Dan, so if you are one of those companies who has a sort of profile on Snapchat, which is a very coveted spot to be, I know how Snapchat measures interaction, but how do the companies who are there measure their being able to touch people and to get in people's lives?
Yeah, I mean, there's really two ways you measure that. Number one is what's the actual level of engagement with an individual post or series of posts. And if you're a brand or a media brand or a celebrity, or you're promoting a movie and you're doing something on any of these networks, that's what you want to see. But if you're the network, you also measure it on how monetizable it is. And all of these companies are going to start doing more sponsored stuff or including ads sort of in your feeds. And that's how they're really going to judge, whether or not this is a successful venture, not just by the number of active monthly users and the number of things that they post.
Clearly you're doing well, Dan, because my Instagram post has not updated yet.
48 hours, I will get Rena on Snapchat. Dan Ackerman from the CNET studios. Dan, thanks.
See you guys.